In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 questions to help you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Let's do it.
Hey, Sua!
Three things for this series. Number one.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's video on cultivating gratitude. Before we get into it, as always, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Please hit the like button and the bell so you know when the next video comes out. This week, we are talking gratitude. Now, if I were to ask you, what are you thankful for many of you, that's easy. You know exactly what you're thankful for, but others, it's not so easy. So I'm gonna give you 5 questions to help you get through the gratitude questions, the gratitude juices flowing. So question number 1 is, who are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? And these people could be people who you live with, obviously your family members, but I also want you to think about these people who maybe it was a difficult relationship. Maybe it was a coach who was really hard on you, a teacher who had very high expectations for you, a boss who always held you accountable. These people who maybe at the time they frustrated you, but as you look back, you are able to see and notice that these stern, strict, high expectation, high accountability people actually took you to a level that you couldn't have gone to by yourself. So who are you grateful for? Grab a sheet of paper and write these people down. And what it would also be helpful to do is to text these people or call these people, because chances are they have no idea how grateful you are for them. Question number 2 is, what is something you take for granted that you're grateful for? A lot of times when we think about things we're grateful for, these are things that easily come to the mind. But when was the last time you paused to notice the things that you sometimes take for granted? It could be as simple as your ability to breathe, to smell, to walk, to see, to hear. These things that we take for granted, electricity, running water. As you pause and you really notice the things that you sometimes just take for granted, it will really help you realize how much you have and really help you see and pick up on the things that are helping you and helping you be happy, but is flying under the radar. That would be a very powerful question to consider, is what are things you're taking for granted that you're grateful for? Question number 3 is one that we've spoken about before. It's 3, 2, 1. Question number 3 is a question we have talked about before, but it's perfect for this situation. What is an adversity or a problem or a struggle that you've overcome that you are grateful for? Oftentimes, we don't look back to see the good that happened, that adversity provided. We don't look back and to see the strength and the wisdom that we gained from a very difficult time in our lives. Yes, it brings baggage. Yes, it brings pain. Yes, it brings a lot of scars, mental, emotional, physical scars. However, now is a perfect time to look back and to see what it taught you. Because chances are that pain that you experienced, that very difficult lesson that you learned, although you never want to experience it again, it taught you some things. What can you pull out from it? What are you grateful for that those times taught you? What are you grateful for that adversity forged in you or strengthened in you? Take some time, pause, share it with someone, because chances are, as you look back at those tough times, you'll see that as difficult as it was, it made you a better version of yourself today. Question number 4 is very similar to question number 2, but it has a tiny little nuance. What is something you have no control over that you're grateful for? Something you have no control over that you're grateful for or had no control over. For example, being born to the parents that you're born to, living in the place that you're currently living, for those of you who had no control over that. You have no control over your DNA. You have no control over a lot of things. But it's important to pause and to highlight those things. What are things you have absolutely no control over, but you're grateful for those things? It might be an opportunity that you got that you didn't ask for. The door just happened to open and you happen to be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes in life, you get lucky breaks, and that's okay. But by identifying these things and looking at these things you had no control over, but you're grateful for them, it helps you remember and put things into perspective that life is a combination of great decisions you made, combined with things you had no control over. And it's very important to identify what those things are so that you can show gratitude, so you can keep your success and failures in perspective. And question number 5, what current struggle are you grateful for? Now that might be a very difficult question to answer, because up until this point, you probably had never considered the good that's coming out of your struggle. Because right now it's painful, it's difficult. You're doing everything you can to get yourself out of this situation. And what I'm asking you to do is to reframe it. What good is this providing you? What strength can you develop as a result of it? How can this help you rather than hurt you? Again, it's easier to look back like we did in question number 3 and to be able to pull it out. But to do it in the moment of pain, to do it in the midst of adversity, that's a lot more difficult to do, but it's not impossible. Now, as you do this, as you see the good that can come out of your current struggles, what you're doing is you're reframing the way you're looking at the problem. And when you reframe the way you look at the problem, you change the way the problem affects you. And so give it a shot. What good can come out of this? What are you grateful for? Which current struggle are you grateful for? And as you stop to consider that, pay very close attention to what that exercise does. What does it do to you? How does it change the way you view your struggle? Doesn't make it any less painful. I'm not expecting that to happen, but it can change the way you view it, and it'll change the way that it affects you, and it will also change the way you respond to it.